Storm coming. It's all downhill from here.
What up? What up? What up?
Bam!
All things considered, you know what I'm saying? All things considered.
So all things considered, he has to be about all things considered. We're bringing this shit to life. Hello. They're gonna be intrigued, PT. You know we got the sauce.
We're gonna get into some serious conversation here in a second.
We got the sauce, man. What is all things considered? What the fuck is it? You know what I'm saying? What, man?
What the fuck is it?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So we have no idea what we're doing.
823, what's up, fam?
Well, hold on. Let me try to do something different.
This thing's crazy.
Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2.
Absolutely.
Check 1, 2.
823, what's up, fam?
We're gonna get into some serious conversation here in a second. Gia, salute. Good to see y'all. Mic check. Make sure the mic's working. We just gonna run with the little intro, and then we just gonna dive in. You know what I'm saying? There's too much stuff going on, too much serious shit. We ain't gonna play around tonight. I mean, I might play a beat later or something. You know, it's Friday night. We do whatever we want to do, but there's some crazy things going on. What's up, Just Josh? You're muted.
Man, it's Friday, bro. It's Friday.
Yeah. Man, you know, anytime I'm writing stuff down, there's too much stuff going on. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
But I salute y'all. You know what I mean? Shit, we gonna get it in. There's one thing I'm gonna bust out right out the gate.
Get it.
So Native hit me up.
Okay.
And he sends me this thing. Now look, I know there's gonna be people that say, well, this could be this, or this could be that, or this could be this, or this could be that. The only thing I can tell you is that there's something out there being spread around, and it sounds like Joe Biden running his mouth when he don't know the mic's on. and I'm just gonna play the recording. Y'all listen to this.
Going to make sure those cowboys don't stop the surge of military-age men from entering. If we have to send F-15s to Texas here and wage war against Texas, then so be it.
Now, let me try a different one to see if it sounds better, so y'all can get a better hearing of it. But I'll tell y'all what it's about.
Going to make sure those cowboys don't stop the surge of military-age men from entering. If we have to send F-15s to Texas here and wage war against Texas, then so be it.
Bro.
Now, what he says is they have to make sure those cowboys don't stop those military-age men from entering the country. And if we got to send F-15s down there to Texas and wage war, then that's just what we got to do. Now, look, if that's a real recording, if he really said this shit, then we're talking about the American president talking about waging war on his own citizens because of non-Americans coming into this country. Y'all tell me.
Fam. Bro, how do we do this without making this sound super inflammatory? Because they listening.
Now, I know I've said it. Nisi said it. I've talked to Pop B, talked to Native, talked to you. And, you know, there's always the possibility of AI. There's always the possibility of a government fucking up and then trying to blame AI. The only thing I'm saying is it sounds just like that, Bama. And I, for one, truly believe that Biden is so big-headed and thinks he's so fucking badass. He thinks he's the strongest man in the world, that I can see him saying some stupid shit like this and not knowing the mic is on. How many times has this man said the most stupidest shit? I mean, back in the days, man, he said some of the most racist shit I ever heard in my life. Yeah. And, you know, I ain't trying to go down that route, but I'm just saying this man does not care what. I mean, look how many times he's said on mic in front of a crowd things where he was breaking the law and going against his own oath. He never has given a fuck. He'll say whatever the fuck he feels and he don't care. He knows he's untouchable. But to sit there and say that you would send F-15s down to Texas and wage war on your own fucking citizens? And let me dive in. What the fuck is so important about having military-age men come across the border? What the fuck are they so worried about? Are they worried? Do they know something that we don't? Do they think that we're going to be invaded? Do they think we're going to be attacked? Do they think that these enemies of ours are about to do some serious shit and we don't have enough muscle and enough men in our own country to handle all the enemies that they've made? Not that we've made, that they have made. The Biden administration. None of this shit was going on when Trump was in office. None of this shit. And everybody said Trump was going to be the one. Oh, he going to start war this, he going to start war that. And yeah, I know it's been said. I don't care. I'm saying it again. These son of a bitches got in office and look what happened. You got a war on every corner of the damn world, man. And this Bama's doing this shit. And you know what else he did? Let's forget about what he just said for a second. And let's talk about how he's putting sanctions on Texas. Is this true, Josh? You in Texas? Is this true? Is this Bama putting sanctions on Texas? Mike ain't working.
I hit the button, bro.
There you go.
Hey, man, look. It's another rainy day in Texas right now. At least from my sphere of view, down here in Texas. I'm not close to the border. But it's business as usual down here. Now, what happens in the next coming days is different. That's what I got.
I want to read this.
Come on.
All right, and it's right here. It's just so y'all can see. I'm really reading off something.
Put it on the big screen, bro. Put it on the big screen, the big one.
All right, hold on. Let me read it.
Take me out and put it on the big screen.
Biden gave Governor Abbott a 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time deadline to remove his National Guard troops. Abbott refused. So Biden issued punitive sanctions against Texas by pausing liquid natural gas development opportunities, which will directly hurt the Texas economy. That's not a coincidence. This is how evil Biden is. Mm-hmm. He is suffocating Texas jobs because Governor Abbott is protecting our border. Boom. And all right, let me big screen real quick, just so y'all can see.
Yeah. There it is. Crystal clear. Yeah, okay. That's the sanctions.
Now y'all tell me. Now I want to keep it going now. I got something else. This is from Colin Rugg on Twitter, I believe. I'm gonna read this to y'all. I'm gonna show y'all. I'll leave it up there in case y'all want to read it, pause it, and read it for yourself or something like that. But I'm gonna read it real quick. Breaking. Texas. Let me get you back on here real quick. Texas Governor Greg Abbott tells Tucker Carlson that he is prepared for potential conflict with federal authorities and that 10 states have sent National Guard to the Texas border. There have been about 10 states so far that have sent National Guard or other law enforcement. They now are joined together with us, and this is a fight for the future of America, Abbott said. Tucker then asked about potential conflict with federal forces. All we can do is be as prepared as possible, deploy as many people as possible, do as much as possible to put up more border barriers and deny illegal entry, Abbott said. We're working hard regardless of what the Biden administration is doing. Man, this ain't no joke.
It's not.
Yeah. Now, I just want to say, you know, and I'll shut up, man. And you know what I mean? You in Texas, man. I feel you.
Bro, everybody keeps saying that. It's business as usual here in Texas where I'm at.
Yeah, how they feeling in Texas? How they feeling?
I'm DFW. The only thing I can speak on is the people I come into contact with, and most people that I come into contact with during the day while I'm working are between 70 and 90. And I'll ask them, hey, y'all, you saw the news? What you think about this border stuff? And this was 10 people, 10 families that are financially well off, retired, Civil war. It's coming. It's civil war. It's coming. I'm a little worried, but it's time. Is
there anybody that you have talked to that says, oh, this is a nothing burger and it's just going to blow over?
Absolutely not.
Every single person that you've talked to is civil war.
Civil war. And I'm talking across the board, across race, across, like I said, the ages is from 70. They're older people, but they're wise. They know how to read between the lines. You know what I'm saying? Like they ain't on social media. They ain't doing that. They're like, yeah, it's civil war. This is going to be a problem. And then they'll go into the election and everything else. I'm like, okay, all right. I didn't know you were paying attention, but I feel the same way. Yeah.
It ain't no joke, man. It ain't no joke. I've been sitting here all day at this damn computer, man. I've been stuck at this computer. I've been talking to Native, talking to you, going back and forth with Nisi. I appreciate everybody that sent me shit, and you know, Native was hooking me up with everything, finding different resources so we could hear things better and see things better. And you know, you were running around so much today; it was hard to get in contact with you, but you were still back and forth with me and Nisi too. You know, it's a struggle, man. But when this shit is, this is reality, man. This ain't no joke. This ain't like some TV show. This ain't some movie or something. This is actually the federal government going against American, a state, Texas, fucking Texas.
No, bro. No. It's not one.
The
state.
American people,
bro.
You know what I'm saying? Like for people who don't even live here, because he wants people to come into this country that aren't legally supposed to come into this country.
It's all illegal.
How do you get away with this shit? How the fuck can you still be president?
Yeah.
How is he still there? How is somebody not locking his ass up?
This is where we at, bro. Fam, chat.
And if that recording is real, he threatened. Come on, dog. If that recording is real, he threatened the American people.
Hey, man, look, let me say this, and I didn't really want to say this. Let me just say this for the chat. Seriously, look, because y'all know I rant and ramble, and this is my biggest dilemma right now. TT1, this is my biggest dilemma. Jeep, y'all, fam, Native, this is my biggest dilemma. Tribe, before we went live, I told you, it's legit. I really want to go down to the account. Oh, my God. Hey, Tribe, I really want to go down to Academy right now, yesterday. And I want to get me a G3. It's a Taurus, a G3. Only because you can get it for like three of them things. Couple 17 Freedom Seed deals. It's fairly reliable. Backup to a backup to a backup. And I want to go and pick up a Maverick 88, a partner, 12 gauge.
And why won't you?
Because 3 weeks ago, I purchased 6 pocket-sized Bibles to have with me everywhere that I go.
And what's that mean?
They watching. They listening. That throws up red flags. I can't.
So what you saying is because you bought Bibles, you got to be careful about what else you buy because they watching the people who's buying this and buying that. They got their eyes on us.
I wasn't even going to say that on the live stream, but I just did, I guess.
Right?
Bro.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy. What's up, Pop Beezy? What's up?
Dino.
I had to finish eating, so I'm not just sitting here shoveling food in my face.
I hear that, man. I hear that. What you feeling, man? You seeing all this crazy stuff going down, brother?
Hell yeah, I'm freaking. Well, my wife thinks I'm crazy now. I think because I was like, it's kind of exciting. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm listening.
I was gonna say
you could be a little louder though if you could turn it up because you're a little lower than us, I think.
No, bro, I've been waiting to hear. I've been waiting to hear your input. Come on.
I'm so happy you're here, man.
Bro, I've been waiting.
Let's see here.
You're golden.
Yeah. All right.
He hit the wrong button, bro. You did it.
No, I didn't do it. He'll be back. He done pushed the wrong damn button or something.
Hey, try.
You know what people might not know is Pop B's. Man, he been in the shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Oops.
So technology. You know. Anyways.
Right.
No, I was sitting there talking to her yesterday about it, telling her everything that was happening and kind of how let's just say this because other people have said it too. Actually, if it's just for elections and they're just trying to do it to get reelected, we can still utilize it, right? It's still a good thing. We have a whole bunch of people moving, so we could be set up for a potential bigger new Independence Day.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense. Last time they already incarcerated everybody. But
get him, Poppy.
I told her I was all excited about it. She's like, why the hell are you excited about it? I was like, this whole year is going to be crazy. I was like, if it's already starting off like this and you have states aligning against the federal government, that's insane. Because even if Abbott was not pure, and I know people in the chat were like, always weef and all that kind of stuff. Okay, well, fine. But there's still other states. You know, there's still other ones that jumped into it. It's not the only one. It's not like he's standalone in this thing. So it's pretty remarkable. And I don't see it settling down. I don't know how you could de-escalate it.
Nah.
No off ramp.
He's already sat there and shoved a big one up there and said, I'm doing this anyways. And unless they physically stop them. I don't know. It's a crazy time to live, man. It's a crazy time to live.
Y'all have heard about the 700,000 trucks? Not 70, not 700, 700,000 truck convoy.
It's about to get stupid.
Supposed to be there Monday.
Poppy, can I ask you a question, bro?
Thing. No bullshit. Like y'all not hearing me, man, because I'm not seeing y'all's eyes get big or anything. 700,000 truckers or trucks or cars and people. We talk about the American citizens coming. We coming, Jack. You know what I'm saying?
Hey. I'm not incriminating myself at this point in the game, bro. I don't know who we is.
You know what I'm talking. Well, I'm an American citizen. I'm with him. Hey, look, I'm with him every step of the way. Well, I'm not going to be with him.
No, I need to maneuver. I need to maneuver.
Time, Jack.
You're already incriminated.
I know, bro. I know, Poppy.
It's a wrap. We be telling y'all. So you already said you're part of the we.
I know. I'm gonna be like, golly. Hey, Poppy, let me ask you this. I got questions, bro, and I got questions.
All right, I gotta go. Peace out, guys. I'm just kidding.
Hey, the PVS boys, when they come into town, I'm leaving. It's a wrap. The ones who have the $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 night vision goggles, when they come into town, I'm out because that's a whole nother level. But
no.
Like, I know what that means. He got him.
You don't want to run away when there's good stuff that you can't get right now.
I just go to the bushes, bro.
It's still humans. It's still people, and they all make mistakes.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I love it.
Gear acquired. There's no thief. It's just you trying to get your shit back.
Throw it in the dump pouch. Keep it moving.
Let me ask something. Pop B, man, what do you think about people like us who these are serious times, man. This ain't no fucking joke. Like we'll joke around and we do our thing because of the people that we are and we're friends and that's how we act together. But in all seriousness, I guarantee you that on January day after the 5th, those folks probably didn't think it was going to get that serious as it did afterwards. What do you think about all this stuff going down, man? And people like us on these damn YouTubes and people that are going to be, proud of Texas and the people standing up to the Fed. Do you think that possibly things could happen?
I think the second that we stop getting, I mean, I already know there's like shadow banning and things like that, but the second that you start seeing voices on social media get really hushed, I would say that's when it's probably going to be happening. I mean, because you already have big tech siding with one side. You know what I mean? Whether it be a mixture of the two, they're already siding with one side, and it's the way things are going. So if we actually had some kind of a if we had an uprising, you know what I mean, in a way, and we were taking back control of the country, basically. And I don't mean anything against the federal government. I mean just like securing the border and telling them to F off and actually was successful. You know what I mean?
Right.
And if they wanted to go into it, they would. I mean, just like they did with the freaking COOF and all that stuff, they would just silence things.
Yeah, and that's what you were.
Propaganda. You're gonna have a lot of propaganda going on.
And that's what just Josh was talking about backstage and earlier and yesterday. You were talking about they had control. I'm gonna let you run it.
I forgot what I was gonna say.
The with the communications and they got the mics, they got the media, they got the they got the blowhorn.
They got the printing press. Poppy.
You know how easy it is for them to shut off the internet and the phones in certain areas and regions? They did it in Iraq. Anytime they had a testing, like their schools would have testing, they would shut down the internet and shut down the phone lines so they couldn't cheat on their tests. And they would do that in like the Baghdad area. So we'd always, I mean, we had working cell service, but they had like 8 providers there, and they would shut them down except for the one they were using, basically.
Wow.
What?
It's not hard.
What do you say? Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna ask 1,000 questions, man, because I know how smart you are, man.
Yes.
What could happen, man, when there is no backing down, and let's say the feds are not going to stop until that border's open, and Texas is not going to stop. What are some of the things that could pop off? What could really start happening in America, even more so than just in Texas?
I mean, I feel like it would fracture. You have a lot of the people that protect those people are right leaning in a way. You know what I mean? Now you have a lot of left leaning people in there too, but they're in different positions. Some of them. I mean, all the guys I served with, I had some liberals that I served with, and they're still that way. They're not really that far out as they are now, but I mean, you start sending people against people in their own country. I think it'd fracture. I think it would fracture a lot of things. So it's. I don't know what he could do and successfully get away with it unless people were just blindly following orders, which a lot of people would do too. And I'm not just talking about like the military and stuff. I mean, you have DHS and all those other kind of places that would they listen. They're federal. They do their job, and all they have to be told. You look at 18-year-olds that go into the military. And we're said they're told all the time, kill, 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 and do all this stuff, and you dehumanize somebody, and you paint a picture of what you're dealing with. You do intel briefs, and you do all these kind of breakdowns of who you're going to be going against. Well, when you're doing that, and you're putting in an 18-year-old's mind, like TikTok and all this other crap does, and you're telling them what they're doing, they might think they're doing something righteous. And as long as they can justify the means, they'll do it. So, I don't know, man.
Could something like this collapse the whole country?
I think it'd fracture it. I think we'd break apart.
And what would that look like, man? What do you think that would look like?
I was looking at that earlier today, because they had that map come out of the 25 states that were supporting this, and I was looking at the breakdown. It's like, I mean, the West Coast, that would be a hurt. Like that would hurt to lose that, obviously. But all that was, they're not backing it right now. And then you've got some of the East Coast, but we've still got ports and we still got means to do what?
It looks like the middle of the country would be against both East and West Coast.
Yeah.
So, but it kind of, to me, if that was to happen, it looks like that the middle would have an advantage in a way because the West and the East would be split apart. They wouldn't be combined. They would be separate. Like y'all already got them split in half, and they don't have the entire East Coast. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We still have some coastal regions and everything. But I mean, and you look predominantly, they used to sit there and joke that a lot of the infantry and stuff like that, they come from Texas, they come from southern states and things like that. But it doesn't function without the other parts of it. It might be the grunt work of it, but you still, if you had a predominantly liberal logistics side of it, supplies and all that stuff, and they were for it, I mean, it would fracture. But I don't think that them using like military. I mean, it'd have to be National Guard all across the board. I don't see them using it if it was joking or if it was real or whatever for that thing. And he was like, "Oh, we'll send some F-16s down there," which I thought was funny because he said, the Tree of Liberty. He's like, well, "That's a joke," He's like, "What are you going to do with your little AR-15s, which they're so terrified about they want to ban? But
Right.
What are you going to do with those things? You need F-16s." And if he was actually saying, "Oh, I'm going to send some F-16s down there," he's already threatened twice, I think, that I remember in speeches about it. And people laugh and people join along, man. People are tribal, very tribal.
Well,
Hey, Puppy.
Well, let's. Okay, you were go ahead.
Because hey, bro, I got so many. Man, I've been playing with so many different ideas. Puppy.
Yeah.
Okay, bro. As we sit right now, let's see. The states, the people, Abbott. He's laid out his rules of conflict. He put it out there clear as day. Now, what I want to ask you is the response from the GOV, from the government, the response from the administration. To me, in my mind, this response has to be overwhelming. It has to be over the top. You got to come down in force. Because if you don't, Glenn Beck, he said basically the same thing. If you don't come in force, then look, Poppy, the power of our government that we've had since 1776 is questioned. They are not as strong as what they, you know what I'm saying?
Well, the federal government's job is like roads, bullets, bad guys.
Right.
You know what I mean, it's supposed to be for outside conflict. They're supposed to be, the states are supposed to govern themselves anyways. So it's doing what it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
And it's stopping the influx of people, which even some Democrats don't want to happen, like the ones panic attack up in New York, all that kind of stuff. I mean,
but what happens if Biden flinches? If he flinches and folds, what happens then?
Well, he's probably not pulling the strings though.
Yeah, I know. No, that's what I tell everybody. That's what I tell everybody.
He can't. He can't flinch.
He's told.
It's the military. You know what. But if they flinch, bro. They're being tested right now on a major stage. This is the world stage, not just here. China's watching it. Russia's watching it. Everybody is watching this conflict in the internals of the U.S.
and other states that want to go against these federal fucking bullshit that they do.
It'd be really crazy if it fractured to the point where you have all these states splitting up and it's basically half and half right now, and then you have outside forces. Or let's just say like the UN came in, you know what I mean, to try to control the area. It's destabilizing. We've got to come in there and create order, and we're part of NATO.
America goes bunk. You ain't gonna come outside. Ain't gonna come in and tell Americans shit. You're gonna have.
You'd have some states that would go okay.
Oh yeah, there'll be a couple of them. And you can bet your ass I'll be leaving one of them. Holla at you. Just saying, on
Poppy,
my way.
Poppy, this is where I'm at right now in my thinking. Seriously, like war gaming, writing stuff out. This is where I'm at right now. And this is the question that I asked Tribe before we went live. I asked him a couple questions. I don't get a chance to talk to a lot of people. Okay. The one thing, and I'm seeing this as the people versus the GOV, the government. That's how I'm seeing this conflict. They have the megaphone. They've got the printing press and the megaphone. When I say megaphone, they have the telephone to call in help from everyone else around the planet. NATO, Germany, all of our allies.
He's froze up. He's froze up. Hopefully he can still hear you. Can you still hear him, Pop B?
Fam, in the chat.
Shit,
Yo,
he froze up. He froze up.
He gonna tap back in. Fam, this is my question, and this is a little bit more advanced. We really going in with this.
I had to jump off my Wi-Fi.
All right,
Okay.
there he is.
Yep.
Yeah, so this isn't like a level type question, but so
Man,
the GOP.
just real quick, man. We don't mean to be drilling you like this, Pop B. It's like you're some. We're treating Pop B like he's some informant that knows everything on the inside. Like, this is Pop Beezy, y'all. Y'all know how we do. This is Pop Beezy, damn it.
Man,
but Pop Beezy is one of the smartest motherfuckers I know. And I know he knows this kind of shit. He's been in the dirt. You've been there. You've been in the shit. You know what I'm saying? That's why I want to pick your brain so bad. That man. I say I didn't want to beg, but I was like, man, I hope this motherfucker shows up. You know what I'm saying?
Good job, bro. But this is my question. This is what I'm asking. So, the government, the administration has the megaphone. They got the printing press. So look, they can still, even in the midst of CW 2.0, they can still send the printing press. 2 billion here, 100 million here. You know what I'm saying? Abroad. So they're gonna listen. NATO's gonna listen to the people with the printing press. But what happens, bro? What happens? And what happens if in the midst of this CW 2.0, the governors start to reach out to these other countries, and they say, "Hey, look, look, he's thinking now. We got him."
Well, I mean, what happened in the Revolutionary War? We didn't do it by ourselves.
Tell me.
We didn't do it by ourselves. We had the French and everything. It wasn't like cut and dry. We didn't just go in there with militias and go around, and we didn't have the organized military that we did have, and then the militias go through and do everything. We wouldn't have been able to finish it. So, I mean, to see outside militaries, we've been around every other country. We've been planted in all these other places. Why wouldn't other countries plant here during some kind of destabilization?
Let me ask you this, man. How strong do you think American militias are?
The M word.
And I know it's just a guess, because I don't expect you to know every single militia out there. No, nobody would, but I mean, you brought up the Revolutionary War. That was a long time ago, and you think about, back then they didn't have AK-47s and AR-15s, and
right.
Even the knowledge of war nowadays is much more advanced than it was back then. Yeah. It was muskets and fucking knives on the end of your guns and shit. Like, I think we have. I just remember Bundy when all that shit went down, man. We had they were ready to go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They showed up and said, no, we ain't having it. Y'all motherfuckers either turn around or we're going at it right here, right now. Just off of a man wanting to graze his cows and not take a fucking $1 million fucking, penalty or whatever it was. I don't know the ins and outs and all that, but, just in layman's terms. Now we're talking about an entire state who most normal-minded Americans would look at and say they're doing the right fucking thing.
Yeah.
Texas is the only ones that is actually doing something about this fucking invasion from the southern border. How strong do you think the militias can hold up if shit pops off? I mean,
lights a cigar.
It wouldn't be like conventional warfare. You know what I mean? So as long as the ideology, I was saying it wouldn't be conventional warfare. Like, the ideology would still be there, right? So I don't know how effective any of the militias would be. I'm not a part of any of them. There was one time I was going to join one of them a while back, because I just got out and I was like, man, I'm bored. I want to do something like, maybe it'd be fun. And I was teaching motorcycle courses, and I would teach cops all the time and highway patrol and all that stuff. And I was teaching this sniper on a freaking highway patrol on a SWAT team. And I was telling him about it. I was like, I was like, I'm going to go. I was thinking about hitting up this militia and going out there and, doing some stuff. And he goes, do not do it. He's like, please don't go over there. He's like, because they watch them. Like, they'll set up freaking hides and they'll watch these dudes. And there's no like, he just basically warned me away from it. not like, oh, how do I say this? Like it was going to be trouble for me. You know what I mean? Like I
Right.
was telling him I want to go over there and do some military stuff and like do training, and I just wanted to do something. And he's like, just don't do it. So I don't know what they think about these guys or what they have, but I know they watch them. I know they watch them with snipers. I know they watch them with, you know, to get recon and stuff. So I don't know.
I
It's a
I,
hard one.
I tell you this. I think it's going to be a hell of a lot more than just militias, though.
Oh yeah.
I think with this, what we're dealing with now is something way more serious than. I think this right here might be one of the most serious things, definitely the most serious thing I've ever seen in my life, in
Yes,
my 48 years of living. I've never seen anything like this before.
bro. Abbott's asking for citizens to come down. That was today.
Yeah.
It is pretty funny how that movie Civil War is coming out in April.
Man,
All right. Well,
I don't want to take it down that route, but it is pretty funny how they're splitting up, and even I want to know how they portray the other side in that movie. That's what I want to see, because that could be a massive piece of propaganda showing that they're doing, and maybe they've even used some of this stuff like this is what they're doing. They could, I mean, it's also a movie, so I'm not saying that it's like that, but it's pretty good timing. It's pretty damn good
perfect.
timing.
I just want to throw this out there real quick. I know how we are, and you know we're strong minded. We can think about things. You know we've been through some shit, so we may not be as fearful or as nervous. But there's probably some people watching this or gonna watch this, and they're probably nervous. There might be some single ladies out there, you know, with kids or even older folks who can't get around too great, or even people with disabilities and stuff, and they're thinking, man, this, you know, this ain't cool, man. If all hell breaks loose. So what I would like to do tonight a little bit, if we can, and I'm not saying right this minute, but maybe dive into what it would look like if it did fracture, if the shit pops off, and what are some of the ways people can deal with it and not have to worry about losing their life every minute of every day if shit's popping off. You know what I mean?
I feel like a lot of people that didn't want to be involved in it, I don't think they'd be affected unless it was just casualties. You know what I mean? If they're in the wrong area at the wrong time, kind of thing. Because you
But
still have to, I think people would still go to work. I think people would still function to an extent. You'd have the people that want to fight, that percentage. You'd have the people fighting against it, that percentage. You'd have propaganda all over the place. And then you'd have that middle of the road crowd that's in America, that's going to be, it's in every nation. That's just like, look, I just want to fucking pay my bills and leave me alone. And you guys figure this shit out. And I think a lot of people will be that way. And you might have some of those people support one side or the other, or fuck both sides. You know what I mean? Just to stay neutral
but
or whatever.
but but when we have problems with like deliveries, medicines getting
Man.
to places, when we have to deal with National Guard in the streets or military in the streets, we'd have to deal with police picking one side or the other. And
God,
you know, if I live in Maryland and my mom lives in Texas, and you know, what's it going to be like for me to try to go to Texas and visit my mother, or you know what I'm saying?
who pays federal benefits?
You just travel.
Say that
light.
again, Josh.
Bro, I keep talking about the printing press. They have it. Without that, we are dead in the water. But who pays pensions? Who pays federal benefits? Who
Welfare.
Medicare.
Yep.
Who does all this? It's gone.
I think it would keep going. Because if you fractured that, now you have more enemies. You know who would cut it off. So you take someone's pension away, you take their life away. Well, fuck, they don't have anything else to do. Might as well fight against that.
That's where I'm going with this.
Everyone's welfare away. Yeah, but then then you're making more people to fight against. So I don't think it would take it away. I don't think it would take it away.
Hey,
they might selectively take it away. They might look back. You know, we talk about social credit scores and stuff. They might look back at people's past and be like, "Yep, no, this person aligns. He's gone."
All right, Poppy. If freedom seeds fly for whatever reason, and it probably won't, but if they do, down at the border, that all that is out the window at that point. All of that is out the window. The optics, everything is out the window. everything. It's game on.
If it goes full scale, Civil War 2.
One slip up, bro. One misfire. One slip up.
And I gotta say it. And I ain't scared to say it. And I don't care if people think it's fear mongering or whatever the fuck. We are at a crucial point where we actually could possibly have some serious shit pop off. We could really have civil war in this fucking country.
It would last for years.
Yes, I'm with you.
Years. Your kids would grow up in this, which is not really a good thought, but can't stop time. So.
I'm with you.
On a scale of 1 to 100, how, and I'm asking both of y'all. I'm even asking in the chat because I want to know what y'all are feeling too.
Yeah.
How from 1 to 100, 1 being it's a nothing burger to 100 we're going to civil war. What do y'all feel, man? What percentage are y'all at? I'm seriously about 75, working towards 80.
80.
What do you think, Pop B?
Say that again.
Like on a scale from 0 to 100 on a percentage, how close are we to civil war at this point in this country?
Come on, Poppy. Dino.
I'd say we're teetering right now to this year.
No, I'm done.
Well, if you think of maybe it's an election year, people don't want to give up.
You're freezing up. You're freezing up.
Trump. Can you hear me now?
Froze up. You're gonna have to start. Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah.
Okay.
75.
Say, I think it's closer. They'd have to back down and let us secure the border for it not to happen. I think.
Man, look at the chat, man. Look at the chat. These are
that.
Americans. These are our brothers and sisters, man.
85.
I look at the
Cherokee.
You have.
Look at those numbers.
That we already told those states that are willing to send people down. So now you get
Let's
one
go.
side that's already going. Well, if he gets power, we already know where that's going. So they're not going to want that to happen anyways. They've got their plan. We've got our plan. You know what I mean? So I don't like some people said. I don't think we'd have an election or anything.
Nope.
If it escalates anymore, I think they'd have to allow us to do the border, and it would break the unity because you've already got too many states on one side.
Show weakness.
It's like playing chess. They've got to sacrifice their queen or their pawn just to let this make it to elections so they can do whatever. You know what I mean? And then I think we're just going to be stuck in a shitty situation.
No off ramp.
But if they decide not to let us secure the border, I think it would get pretty hairy. I think it would like there's saying in there balkanization and all that kind of stuff.
All of it.
Is it a possibility that we could actually have two heads? You could have Biden on one side and Trump.
Yeah, I mean,
you think so?
Yeah, you'd already have states that are. You already have states that are going against the federal government. You already have both sides going against the Supreme Court for multiple decisions. So the Supreme Court told them let them take the wire away. They're like, no, fuck that. We're going to still do it. We had the Bruin decision. People are still going against that. We have decisions they made. They say are constitutional. They're not. So I was thinking to myself again. They're already making the one of our branches almost just null and void.
Yeah,
they're making
seriously,
but no one's listening. So we're already to a breaking point.
Which is why I put out that video the other day. I says we're in it already. Try, but what were you going to say? You said, is there a possibility of two heads coexisting together?
Like Pop B said, if we get to a fracture point,
yeah, we're there.
We're gonna. Everybody looks for like a leader. When you get a pack of people together, you want somebody at the head.
Yeah,
I'm wondering if it ends up fracturing, and we have this whole group of Americans going against the federal government. If they'll look towards Trump as, hey, get in here, man. You're our dude.
Without a doubt, we're there, bro. I'm past all that. We can't go back in time and Abbott can't take back the letter he sent to the government. Biden can't take back the things that he said. We are already there. And look, I'm gonna tell you, me being fairly neutral, you know what I'm saying? I just want people to live as good as they can, for things to be good, for people to be able to afford homes, have a livable wage, I don't want all these. The border is ridiculous. We got everything coming through the border. We don't know who's trained, who's not, insurgents. Bro, it is treason. It is sedition. It is all those things. And when somebody comes on the scene and says it's got to stop, and I don't care how it stops, we're going to stop it. Do what y'all got to do. Of course. The Biden administration doesn't stand a chance. But they got the printing press.
But if you have 25 collective states going for that side, then it's not Biden.
Yeah, they have no taxes.
I think it's actually 27 the last I seen.
It is.
It's increased now, huh?
Yeah.
Bro, look how the whole system breaks down, though.
That's more than 50%. Just saying.
Yeah.
That's 28. 27 are standing with one. That's 28. That only leaves what, 22?
Yeah.
I mean,
look how the system look how it has to break down though. 27 states. Supposedly, I know they got the printing press, and I'm gonna keep saying that, but supposedly the way they get income and revenue is from us working hard and paying into their system. If we're at conflict with that system, we're not paying in. Yeah, home taxes, not getting paid. Don't worry about that. It's a wrap.
I just real quick, just a question I want to hit, and you can answer it, just Josh, and he can answer when he gets back. I'll ask him when he comes back.
Come on, Poppy.
What should people be doing right now? The average citizen in America right now, with all this shit going on, what should people be doing?
Hey man, I just said my biggest thing is that I want to go pick up a backup to my backup, and you know what I'm saying? Hey, fam. This whole thing right now, look, what's going on right now shows you how unstable this whole thing is. We've been living under a facade that this thing is solid and it can never be shaken, and this is what it is and how it's gonna be. We're talking about there might not even be an election. Forget voting for who you want to.
There might not be a United States.
Bro, that's it. Thank you.
This is the United States of America right now. This is not united.
The States of America, because it ain't united. It's not right. Tonight, Tribe, right now, as we do this live, it is not the United. I don't think any channel on YouTube said this. This is not. That should have been the title. The States of America, because it's not right now. We're at conflict.
Right.
I'm just saying, bro. It's facts. This ain't fear mongering. This is facts.
And the most worrisome part, I think that you got to look at is you said it earlier. I think you said it earlier, or Pop B. It's not just us looking at this. Yeah. Xi Jinping's looking at this. North Korea's, Iran's looking at this. Yemen's looking at this. Russia's just watching every fucking minute. I mean, they're just biting their nails, just like, come on. This is what we've been working so hard to do over there in that country. They've wanted us split up, divided, and eating ourselves for years.
I woke up watching the news one morning, and it was saying how it just didn't make sense. When things don't make sense, the news, 6 o'clock in the morning, drinking my cup of coffee, pedaling around early morning. The news said Russia is talking about how Alaska is supposed to be part of Russia, and they may make a move for it.
Yeah, they said that it was an illegal purchase.
Yeah. Where does that come from? All of a sudden now, bro, I'm telling you, y'all, look.
And for those that might not know, Alaska and Russia are kind of like, connected, kind of. You know what I'm saying?
Try. In my video, I talked about a Red Dawn type situation. Red Dawn.
Right.
That is coming too. How do we get the blue hats in here? That's how.
Native hit me with that, man, and when he said it,
yeah,
you know how some things, somebody will say something, Pop B's coming back in. But you know how sometimes somebody will say something to you.
That's the real Pop B.
But hear me out on this. Hear me out on this. Sometimes somebody will say something to you and you'll be like, yeah, I feel you on that. Mm-hmm. And sometimes somebody will say something to you and it'll put chills down your back.
Yeah.
And when I was talking to Native and he was like, man, what do you think could happen if this and this? And I was like, man, I don't know, man. What do you think? He's like, man, the UN's already sponsoring shit down there. Why wouldn't they bring them in? And I got chills down my spine. Yeah. I couldn't imagine. And I remember a couple years back on YouTube, we talked about this because there was rumors floating around that America might even have Russian troops come in if something was to pop off, because you would, if you're the government, you wouldn't want your own people going against your own people because they might not go the full force with it. Yes. So what do? You bring in, like you said, just Josh, the enemy of your enemy. You bring in forces from somewhere else. Mm-hmm. You bring in the UN. You bring in some Russian friends. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if our government wouldn't use cartels.
Man,
that'd be sketchy.
Pop B, we ain't done it before. I mean, George Bush, he was funding.
There's a book called Victoria, right? And it's a little racy. It really is. But if you just read the story, it breaks it down like that. So you had states and you had all these people that were separating and they were controlling, they were going against the federal government. Federal government was taking gangs and cartels, things like that, and they were utilizing them as their new military. In the book.
Come on,
they were sitting there. It was crazy, but it was.
How easy would it be for Biden to reach out to some head dude down there and say, "Hey, look, man, you know, if you could put something together to get rid of this dude." I mean, look, I don't care what nobody says, and this is just my opinion, but I've looked at history and I've seen things and read things and looked into things, and it sure seems to me like the mafia was used a few times.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So why wouldn't? I mean, why is Joe Biden so dead pressed on having the border open and doing all this over a border? Who's profiting the most over this shit? It's the cartels. $8 billion, $13 billion the cartels are making from this. So you're going to tell me that he wouldn't work with them? Let's just be honest.
That does.
I think CW.
That does kill me that you'd sanction a state and you'd sit there and fight so damn hard to keep your nation unsecure.
Yeah.
Not that we don't let immigrants in. My grandfather was an immigrant. Like that's like the nation is immigrants. That's the greatest part about America is we are everybody. You know what I mean? We're just an ideology.
But we can't have all the body.
But you've got to have people come in and I'm not going to say the right way necessarily because not every single person that's came in illegally is bad. Cool.
Right.
Can't generalize, but an influx like this is unmanageable. You know what I mean? People will slip through the cracks no matter what. No matter how big the wall is or anything, you're going to have people slip through the cracks because nothing's impenetrable. But that's like every state. Everybody can get into anywhere if you really want. You know, every country. Sorry.
True.
This is nowhere near normal.
No, it's
border policy, border control, border. Nowhere near.
Is this the first time any state's been sanctioned? I don't know. I'm asking. I really don't know. A united state.
I've never heard of it.
So look. So the leader of the United States is really projecting ill will on a united state. That's never happened before.
Yeah, we supposed to be sanctioning China and Russia and shit. What the fuck are we doing? I mean, is that not a act of civil war? Is that not an act of civil war?
We're in it, man.
Look, in the chat, man, I'm serious. I'm not joking around tonight. Like, I'm not saying all these things to hype up or have talking. This shit is really fucking happening. This is what we're really fucking dealing with.
Yeah.
Like this is not a joke. I'm not trying to
know,
over exaggerate. Like I think I'm under exaggerating. I think I'm holding back from saying what I think could possibly be happening. You know what I mean? When I have the vision of what could come about from this shit, man, I see some fucked up. I see turmoil, man.
I'll say if they want to sit there and say that the border for the nation is the federal deal, why doesn't the state just move a little back and still secure the border like their state, and you're not in violation of anything? You know what I mean? Yeah, you can have the border. They can have their little half a mile, quarter mile stretch right there, but we're going to secure this area right here, and they can't go any further.
Gotcha.
Why wouldn't that work?
Maybe that's gonna happen.
I'll tell you why it wouldn't work. I'll tell you why it wouldn't work. I'll tell you right now why. Because we have a law that says as soon as somebody steps their foot into American land,
I got you.
They automatically have a right to be here and go through the process, due process. The only thing they got to do is have the right things to say. And you have the UN right now down there teaching every single person that wants to cross the border exactly what to say, exactly how to act, exactly where to go. Here's a map. You need something to eat. Here you go. You got Chinese hotel. I just want to throw this out there. If you missed Native Voices live stream,
oh yeah,
he had a great live stream. He broke it all down. He showed this documentary that just happened. He's got the link to the documentary in his description. So watch his live and then go watch that documentary. I mean, the Chinese have their own hotels down there supplying room and shelter and board for Chinese, I guess, immigrants that want to come across the border.
Yeah,
it's just a safe haven. So for their trip to come across the border illegally into the United States, just for the Chinese, all Chinese.
Hey, in my video, I talked about the West Coast, the Pacific Coast, the possibility, and I could be absolutely wrong, but the possibility of a lot of these immigrants that are coming in from Asia migrating to the West Coast. Seriously, rural areas of the West Coast where there aren't a whole lot of Americans. There's probably that one dusty city with tumbleweeds or whatever, and a gas station, and maybe 1,000 families, and they'll start migrating to that area to soften up that, and it'll be along the entire West Coast to soften up those areas. Yeah. And like I said, China plays a long game.
I think they're putting them everywhere.
But China's gonna come in from the West Coast. That's why. I said that.
I feel. I was kind of missing that it was just China you were talking about. Yeah, I'm with you.
No, I'm with all the coast. We talked about Florida, New York, all of them. But I think that's how we're gonna have our Red Dawn with the Red Dragon on the West Coast. They're gonna soften it up, and all of a sudden the gas station owners are gonna be like, "Why are there such an influx of Asian people in our cities right now?" They'll probably be trained, soften up these rural areas. So when we get into the mix, it'll be so much easier for the super trained people in Asia to come on and start trying to invade those softened up West Coast targets. That's our Red Dawn. It's gonna happen with the Middle Eastern people that come here. I think it's all part of the plan. Just saying.
Long game.
Yes, China plays a long game. It's not every 4 years for them. It's the long game. These people could have been bred since the time that they were born for this particular moment. And we're just singing.
Yeah.
They don't have to fight their people. Look at Hong Kong. They shut that shit down fast with a pandemic.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah, bro.
Okay. Let me ask y'all this: what happens when 700,000 truckers show up? Where do you even put 700? Like, what happens then? What does the government do then? Well, I mean, we're talking. What does your state do? Like, how is Texas even going to be able to handle that? Not that they don't want them there, but how are they going to deal? I mean, you're talking about 700,000 truckers. You're talking about massive amounts of roads completely shut down.
Where did you hear that? Just curious.
I've heard it a few different places, man. But
So what is 700,000 truckers not transporting goods anymore do?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I hear you. And it's for like 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
I know y'all have heard it too in the chat, right? I mean, it's supposed to happen. It's supposed to hit Monday and go all the way through like 3 days or something like that. But it might not end up being 3 days. I mean, you look at the trucker convoy in Canada. I'm sure that didn't mean to be weeks long. You know what I'm saying? And all the shit that happened with that.
I got one for you.
Holla at me.
Knowing everything that happened January to the day after the number 5, knowing everything that happened, Poppy, everything from facial, you know what I'm saying, all that stuff, to tracking down people who were thinking about going. That's how escalated this entire situation is. These people know what went down previously. They know how people were persecuted. And you mean to tell me that they're still ready to go on top of all that? This is all or nothing. You see what I'm saying? This ain't just, let's just go and support. No, they know the outcomes of what happened.
Well, they're still persecuting people.
Exactly.
They're stretching out the distance. Like, well, they didn't go to the door, but they were in the parking lot.
Bro,
So, and I'm pretty sure, they're going to keep doing that. The only ones that get out are the ones that have a lot of financial connection.
Yes, but they know that.
Everyone else is just in there.
Those truckers know that.
Says it every freaking day.
Bro, the people who... Go ahead.
How long does it take before other states have mass amounts of people coming together to support Texas, but they're in their own state? And the next thing you know, you got 27 states with 100,000 people outside of their state buildings.
Roadblocks.
500,000
people outside of it. I mean,
it's connected. You'd have free passage.
You think so?
Oh, yeah.
Bro, if
they're connected enough, you just come on through. I mean, who's going to stop them? The state's not going to stop them.
Okay, all right. What about this? You think at some point there may be some type of, because seriously, if this thing really does go to where it gets hot, do you think they could try roadblocks of passage, major intersections, major cities?
I mean, they have the interstates. There are roads that are like federal, you know.
I learned that from Native. He did some lives talking about that. I learned that from him. Major intersections, choke point, all that stuff.
Just think about all the people that have some kind of permit or federal, some kind of way to live their life, and then all of a sudden they go down there and they join into it, it gets revoked, they lose their entire life. Bro, you can do a lot of stuff to screw people over. And what are you gonna do? We will bitch about it on here, but I mean, for the most part, it'd be like, man, how much is 700-800 people from J6 and all that kind of stuff?
Is that it?
Man, that's how many years ago was that? They're still. They're still.
I got you.
I mean, we could be pissed off about it, but if it happened this time, I think the only thing that changed it is, for one, they were let in. It was a setup. It was in my mind. You go to something like this that's intentional. You go to something like this is intentional, and then you start getting threatened. The people that come down there to stop you, that are on the federal side, they'd be an enemy.
Exactly.
Because they'd be violating their freaking oath, in my opinion.
Everything.
Yeah. The only people that are doing it are the people that are constitutionally stopping the influx of people coming in.
Bro, that would go against so many God-given rights. And this is where this thing is going. The things that they're going to claim that they're fighting for, they are going to go against so many. Bro, we can't even say certain things on YouTube.
So we need to start thinking about communication. We need to start thinking about, what if they do shut down the internet? What if they do shut down? Yeah, I mean, seriously, this shit could pop off, and really in the next day or 2 or 3, we could start having to deal with, guess what? In this area, you can't even get online. You're not even going to be able to get a hold of somebody.
Oh, yeah. Shift. WRL?
I mean, they could probably find a way just to shut down voices for saying the wrong thing. All of a sudden, you can't have a freaking. I mean, most of us, you know, my IP address is my home, you know, so they could just block that. You know, they could shut down my internet. Everything's selective, so they don't even have to shut down everybody's. Oh, you're doing good. You're good. You play your game, and we're gonna sit there and, you know, we're gonna cut everybody else out. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
Cherokee.
I'm going out tomorrow, and I'm going with me and Nisi already made up our minds, man. Now you know we're prepped up, but we've been kind of slacking here lately. And tomorrow, man, we're going to the store, and we're just gonna pick up a shit ton of canned goods, man, and restock up on canned goods, corn, green beans, diced tomatoes, you know, just you know, potatoes, canned potatoes, corned beef hash. We're just gonna get shit because if it comes down to the come down, you might. I mean, if you're not prepping, you should start thinking about picking up some things, man. Because if they, like Pop B said, if they're doing a convoy, they're not delivering anything. And we might go through periods where you can't get shit at the store.
Yeah,
there may not be no canned goods. I remember going to the store and there wasn't no corn, wasn't no peas, no nothing. There was only one type of vegetable in a can in the whole fucking store, and that was for like weeks at a time.
Yeah,
during the pandemic and all that.
Yeah.
Hey, Cherokee, he dropped something. The Marshall thing, right? What if seriously? What if this thing really gets to the point as to where they have to declare some form of a LD? You know what I'm saying? Or some type of lockdown. Militaristic, or whatever you want to call it. Would they be able to enforce it?
It would have to go to martial law all over the place, wouldn't it?
Would they be able to enforce it?
But who stands who stands up for martial law?
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
No, I'm just saying, like, who enforces that? National Guard.
Gotcha.
If you've got 25 states that are like, no, it ain't happening. You've already that's something that they could probably enforce it. Like the ones that, you know, would. Now they have talked about, and I don't know the legality of it, so I'm not even going to get into it. But they're talking about Dems are telling Biden to federalize, the National Guard and stuff like that. I don't know.
What does that mean?
How they can do that, but
that's the thing. They're losing their power, and that's why I'm thinking it right now. Look, man, Poppy, you know better than anybody in here. All these options that we've talked about have been war gamed by professionals who are trained to war game. All of these options we talking about, war, the military.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Native.
If they don't come with an overwhelming response to quell this problem, the USGOV, they don't quell this problem. Oh, it's game on from this point on. If they don't come with full force, it's game on. I'm telling you. Hey, Greg Abbott's gonna be vice president, Poppy. Just in case you didn't hear it, I'm just saying.
Did he say that?
No, but he is.
If he's allowed.
I got personal shit in the game, man. I got my oldest son down there in Texas, and he's about 3 or 4 hours south of Just Josh.
Mm-hmm.
And he hit me up 2 days ago, and he's like, you know, Dad, man, what the fuck, man? And he's, you know, sending me videos and clips and shit. Like, you know, he's a young dude, man, but you know, he's even worrying about it. And like, he's like, yo, we need to update our meetup spots, man. You know, shit ain't the same as it was 5 years ago when I was living at home. Like, what are we gonna do? And he was right. You know, I'm fucking slacking, man. I immediately hit both of my daughters up who are in 2 southern states. Then I said, look, I hope y'all know, I mean, it shouldn't have to be said. Y'all are the meetup spots, plain and simple, for the whole damn family. You know, if there's no communication and there's no, y'all's house is where people are going to meet, whether it's a week later or 3 weeks later or 2 months later. And of course, you know, they hit me right back. You goddamn right. You can come right now. You know what I mean? I mean, me and my kids, we like that, man.
Yeah.
You know, and I got a daughter who's, 30 years old. I got another daughter. She's got, a man and 2 kids. Like, I'm not talking little kids. I'm talking about, and they've been around me their entire life. They know about this prep and shit. They know we've had plans in place when they were little tiny kids, plans on how to get out of the house and go to this neighbor or that neighbor and how to hide from people if they had to do that. Like, I've been teaching these kids since they were little about the fucked up shit in these streets.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's in them. Like my son hit me up telling me what he's got in his bug out bag, and Dad, do I need anything else to put it? Am I missing something, man? Make sure you let me know, because shit ain't no good down here. And I'm damn right.
Yeah.
I mean, so I'm saying these things because anybody in the chat, man, think about these things. If you got kids out there, if you got family out there, if you got people that you're close to, you might not be able to call them. You might not be able to just hit them up like normal anymore. You might want to figure out how to have a plan together,
Yeah.
Grace and Grit, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And good restock fund. I appreciate it, Grace. For real.
Get in.
And I know you're a little worried and stuff, but hang in there. We gonna all stay in touch, and you got us, so just hang in there.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Poppy. Hey, what happens to the states if this thing goes kinetic? What happens to the states that don't have 2A in them? And this thing goes kinetic. This thing goes hot.
They're probably already not on the right side.
I know, but at some point, do they become soft targets?
Doesn't mean they don't have guns.
But do they come? But at some point, do they become soft targets?
For who? For helmets?
For the people who are fighting against liberalism, for the border folks.
I don't know if unless they had pushback, if states that were aligned that way.
Okay.
I don't know if they would go into other states. I mean, you're talking about controlling the whole entire nation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I could see states going, no, we're good. I mean, Texas is huge.
Yeah, right.
The economy is enormous. If they're just like, we're out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
don't know if they would care about another state that didn't have 2A or blue city. You know what I mean? Like, I think they just stick to their own. Now you do have.
Okay.
Texas has got some blue cities.
Yeah. Austin.
And you got a lot of these states that are for that. Yeah, but they're still just saturated with both sides.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm gonna tell you what.
All the counties and the rural areas and everything voting one way, and then you got a lot of the cities maybe split up. Obviously, they're not going to all be 100% anything, but.
Gotcha.
I was talking about this, man. I said that another plan that this government or higher than this government have been trying to do is work on states, just for the mental of Americans, because right before the pandemic they attacked Virginia hard, and I don't think anybody can look at Virginia again the same as they did before that happened, when they took all the guns and Northrop took over Virginia and did all that fucking shit and took people's rights, and you know what I mean? And then you look at this border and all this and how a lot of blue have been flooding into Texas.
Okay.
It's like a way of slowly but surely working the American freedom, the American Constitution out of the heavy states that still believe in it and run by it. You know what I mean? And it sure seems like they're slowly attacking every state that's like that.
Mm-hmm. Bro, just for me, what I see is this, and I'm simple, y'all. I don't have any experience. It's just ideas. But if this thing goes kinetic and it does get hot, and Poppy, I am with you 1,000%. This thing could take forever. It could take a while. Seriously. But if
oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good. If the side that is for the border, I'm code. The side that's for the border, the people, the states. If they do, all right, hear me out. If they do sweep the government And if the person who is running to be the leader of the government, right, T-Man, look, I want to be a part of this.
I'm sorry. I was laughing because she used a line from that movie. What kind of American are you?
Bro, I've been seeing that. What is that?
It's off the watch the trailer for Civil War, and they're like, "Whoa, there's a misunderstanding. There's a misunderstanding. We're Americans." And he's like, "Yeah. Well, what kind of American are you?"
Bro, Jeep threw it in my comments. I was like, "Well, Jeep, elaborate, because I want to hear what you got." I don't know. And then I saw it like 4 or 5 times in the chat, and I'm like, "What is this?"
It's the most badass line I've heard in a movie in a long time.
Dang, that's what it is.
Yeah.
All right, I'm on it now. I need to watch the trailer again. But look,
you might not have to watch no movie.
I know.
You might be living this shit,
bro. If the states are winning, if the states some way somehow are winning, and then you have the leader. Look, T-Man made his stance clear. He already put it out there. That's why I said there isn't going to be an election. I think he's ready to do away with the whole federal system altogether. To be honest with you, he doesn't like the Federal Reserve. He's trying to get rid of the FBI. I think he's done with the government needs to be reshaped. So if we're in a conflict and you have the leader that majority of the country has said this man stands for us, campaigning, and he says take this entire country. The liberals, they need to go. Those non-2A states, they probably will start to get start to get. You see what I'm saying?
But wouldn't that be? That would be. I would think that would happen after like complete collapse and all. Like that would be a year or two down the line, maybe even longer.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. But that's what I'm asking though.
Right.
So those people who aren't armed, who are just like clamoring, who have like like the different color hair and stuff.
I think it would be like Ukraine. I think if the feds needed their states, they would start handing them out.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Here you go. Come pick up this, and after it's all over, you can return them. But we're going to arm you because we need all hands on deck.
Gotcha. That's what I'm thinking.
What if it's all fake?
I think that often.
I'm just saying. What if it's a distraction from something different? What if they're just they're just messing with people, just tossing around little pawns and going, "Hey, you know what? They'll only think about this for a while." I don't know. Whatever reason, a whole bunch of freaking elites are building bunkers for.
Man,
this would definitely something like this definitely shines a light on militias, anti-government, people that will have the balls to stand up. People will come out with their arms, so they will get an idea and have people on camera in certain places. You know they're going to be filming all this shit, and they're going to have everybody's face, what they're doing. I mean,
ghost comment.
Could this be an operation?
Ghost comment.
They're getting ready for this.
I mean, maybe the idea is to destabilize the nation. Every time we don't send people to other nations to destabilize them to put somebody in power. I mean, there's a process to breaking it all down.
Ghost tapped in.
We got enough people that are divided. It shouldn't be that hard to sit there and pit people against each other.
Ghost tapped in.
I don't think he could. I don't think they could say. I mean, they called it the other one insurrection. He never got charged for it.
They are trying to take him down right now for that exact same thing.
I know, but they can yell insurrection, but it's not, because all he's saying is support the state. It's international support the state. He's not saying like we need to unite and take him out of power or anything like that. He's just I could see him spinning that way. I agree that they could toss that around like that, Ghost. I do agree with that.
They're probably going to do that anyway. Even if nothing pops off, they're probably going to do that anyway.
Yeah.
Hey, which is why I'm saying even more so, bro. There's not going to be an election. They got so many tools in their toolbox they could deploy right now. Like that comment that Ghost just put up. That's giving them more ammunition to just try more foolishness. You know what I'm saying? To delay, to Hey, man, we're in some crazy time. I never ever thought I would see our country in this state, but it is here. We are in it amidst everything else we've been talking about for the last 3 years, 4 or 5 years. World War III, bro. You still can't forget about Yemen, the Houthis, the Promised Land, Hamas. You still can't forget about Iran, Russia, UK. You still can't forget about that. And
there's so much shit going on over there in all those places. And of course, I've been watching New York Prepper, man. He breaks down a lot of shit that's going on over there. I'm seeing so much activity in my skies, man. I mean, they, in my opinion, they're preparing for something. And look, we just we sent 90,000 troops over there to do some drills, and Russia saying that could be and tell me if I'm wrong. And tell me if I'm wrong. We're doing drills with other people, and we're sending 90,000. And you got to figure how many people are they sending? How many people are going to be doing these drills? You know what I'm saying? Like, just how many people is it really?
Yes, sir. Biblical.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
You know what's crazy? T-Man was about to dismantle NATO. And y'all remember that?
Yeah.
And guess what? We probably wouldn't have had half of the conflicts that we have now if that would have happened. I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying. I
You ain't wrong.
don't know. Hey.
What happens if the federal government comes into Texas, man? What happens if the UN comes into Texas? What does Texas do? What do y'all think? What's the possibilities?
He said he's prepared. If they federalize the National Guard, he's prepared to continue doing what he's doing. So I don't know what that means, but he said that on Tucker Carlson, I guess, on his uncensored program.
What's that mean, Bobby? Bro,
I have no idea, unless he's talking about his citizens, the ones that are going down there. I mean, you have enough people that are going down there. You could disband the National Guard. You could federalize the National Guard and stand them down. You still have people that would be like, "Screw this, we're going to do it anyways." And you just have law enforcement not arrest them. I mean, maybe you deputize a whole bunch of freaking sheriffs, and they send them on down there and have them. I mean, you could. I'm sure there's a shitload of stuff you could do, even if they took the National Guard from him.
This is wild, bro. This is wild.
Do you think that they actually could take the National Guard from Texas? Do you think that those National Guardsmen would actually go against Texas?
That's the question.
I mean, think about it this way: if they stood down the National Guard and they just go home, well, then they can just walk their ass down there and do what they were doing anyways. You know what I mean? Then they're back to weekend warrior stuff. I'll be back for guard in 2 weeks or something,
Damn.
I mean, that's the way I would look at it anyways. But they look at everything. I mean, they were looking at freaking who was guarding the fences around the Capitol, and if they were for one side or one side too far with their social media posts and stuff, they were taking them off of the detail. Remember? So there's a lot of that's so foreign, like details, that I can't even like wrap my head around it.
Yeah,
right.
Hey man, what if?
It's way beyond me,
bro.
Well, I just wonder what people are going to do down there when all these truckers are down there and all these militias show up and all these other National Guardsmen show up. And I mean, they already said that 10 different states have already sent National Guards and other personnel to Texas to back them up. You got 700,000 truckers coming in. Like, how is Texas going to be able to handle all this, man? And what about your average citizen that is just trying to get, like, seriously, if you're in Texas right now, go prep a week's worth of food.
Yeah.
Get your stuff together, because you might not be able to get out your house. You might not be able to get down the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know where to get down.
Hey, bro, the one thing I can
prep this like you would prep for a hurricane that was going to last a week or two at least.
You know what they could do? because we do a lot of fourth generation warfare, which is like non-government entities, you know. So what if you had the powers that be on the left side send old flip-flops down there to go create havoc with let's say they federalize the National Guard, they break them down.
Okay.
Right? So now you just have citizens down there, and then you send a whole bunch of freaking Antifa down there, or whatever you want to call them, and then they start creating their own conflict. And
BLM.
all of a sudden, you've got Chaz and Chop and all this kind of crap trying to form down there as entry points for fucking illegals. I mean, it could go so many ways, but
yeah, they could overwhelm the Texas government.
Tools in the toolbox.
Also, hold on, Teddy, I'm not playing right now, dude.
He's happy.
But when you got tons of people ready to back Texas up. They're going in there right now. Like I don't think there's enough of those flip-floppers to handle 700,000 truckers, to handle 10 states, 27 states of National Guard or militias or.
But you wouldn't need to. You just need entry points.
Yeah.
You just need sections. You know what I mean? Like you could go send 2,000 people down there to you know what I mean, they coordinated all that other stuff with pallets of bricks showing up and all that kind of stuff. You just send it freaking down.
Oh yeah.
2 points of entry.
But let's talk about where that was. That wasn't Texas.
No,
right.
No.
You know, I mean, who are these 18, 19, 21-year-old, 23-year-old, are they going to be brave enough to go down there when shit's popping off like that and you got militias out there with AKs and ARs and hundreds of thousands of people ready to fuck shit up?
But now you're talking about people actually using them. They were in conflict. That's when there's a posturing. Yeah, we'd have a whole bunch of stuff like guys down there that are armed and suited and all that kind of stuff, and they're ready to go. And then you see flip-flops down there. But if all they do is get in heated conversation, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just disruption. But if they start actually like using stuff, then you're in conflict. Yeah. Now it's a national emergency or whatever you want to call it, because you have a fight on the border. It would break down so hard.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden the National Guard that was federalized does get picked up. They get sent down there to control all that little area that's been doing. And I guess that would still secure the border in the end, because you'd have to break down everything. And we would win in the end.
Yeah. Could you see Texas, not only the southern border, but all around Texas, shut it down, not let anyone in or out?
I don't think they have the manpower.
Yeah.
I mean, you could major points of entry, interstates and things like that. I mean, I could see them. Well, I don't know if I could see them doing it, but feasibly, you know, you could control main points, but then you just go around, you know, harder paths.
Hey, I could tell you this. I could tell you definitives. We're speculating on what could, what may not, what could. I can tell you a definitive thing that would happen from the seven. What is it? Is it 700,000 or 7,000 or 700?
Yeah, what I've seen is 700,000.
I can tell you definitively one thing that will happen. I always look for the things that I can promise you absolutely will happen. When those truckers get there and the supporting, I'm just going to say people. I'm not going to say the militia. I'm going to say it's the supporting people get there. In mass, in numbers, I can promise you we will see it stamped all over MSM with American flags. Trump 2024, patriotic. We're doing what needs to be done. And those 27 states, bro, you see where I'm going with this? I can promise you those 27 states will climb. It's going to be 29. It's going to be 30. It's going to be 35. It's going to be 40. There's no off ramp to this deal, fam. That's what I want y'all to hear from what I'm saying. There is no off ramp. Everything that happens is an escalation. It only builds. Am I wrong, Tribe?
Nah, I don't think so.
Okay, bro. I'm not wrong.
I feel you.
Look, wait till next week when we start seeing the MSN will be flooded, bro, with people. No, and it's different this time because it's going to be people who don't care what happened January, you know what. Yeah. It's going to be different. No, we're going to see people that are ready to I don't even want to say too much. We're gonna see people that are gonna be ready to fight for they know the repercussions and the consequences, and they still there, bro. It's gonna be wildfire.
I mean, it's one thing for us to sit here on a YouTube,
Yeah,
but we're talking about thousands of people who are gearing up and heading there. I mean, imagine their mentality on this thing. Imagine what they're thinking. Imagine what they're planning for, and what they're ready to do. If
knowing the repercussions,
like we're ready to have another live stream. They're going down there armed to the teeth. Some of them, most likely, and what they're prepared and ready to do.
Yeah,
and their mindset. And then you got Biden, who thinks he's God, and the people above him, and what they're going to try to push. I mean, what are we going to see on Monday? What are we going to see on Monday when there's 700,000? Now, I mean, he gave him 20. He's already sanctioned Texas. What are we going to start seeing on the news? What are we going to start seeing? What are they going to feed us? What's the propaganda that's going to come at us?
And the leader, the upcoming leader of the United States of America is in support of this same deal. You feel what I'm saying? That speaks volumes. All right.
And you don't have, Twitter is gonna let shit fly. Truth Social is gonna let shit fly. Rumble's gonna let shit fly. Tim Pool's gonna go hard. Steve Crowder's gonna go hard. Tucker Carlson's gonna go hard. I mean, this ain't gonna be. They're not gonna be able to silence this. They're not gonna be able to just keep it, shut up. I know that they have power of the microphone, but they don't have as much power as they did 2 years ago. I don't think.
What's up, Javi?
I'm still stuck on a complete squirrel sideline note. You ever look at the magnetic shift?
Okay.
For Earth and
poles
and us flipping 90 degrees.
You think that's going to happen?
Not in this year, but there's Tim Pool.
I'm about to say, damn, you just added shit on top of shit.
No. He said it's supposed to happen within the next 20 years. He was interviewing these two guys, and they were like, that's all they've done is research on this crap. I got to look up who it is again. But go on. You know what? Hold up. It was I think it was on Tim Pool or Timcast. He's got like 50 channels. I don't know. But he was interviewing these guys, and they were talking and breaking it down how climate change is a normal thing. And they had this guy that was up in the Arctic, and he was digging down, and it was Arctic, tropical for like the fossils. And they were breaking down everything though. And he goes, we're due for it. We're on the 12,000 year cycle. We've already passed, you could say the 6,000 year cycle too, but we've already passed it. And he quotes it in a whole bunch of verses of the Bible, quotes it in other like religions and all this kind of stuff of how it's happened. And he was sitting there and he breaks down. He's like, he said 20 years. He said within 20 years. And I was like, man, if we flip 90 degrees in 20 years, it's like, I can't explain it the way he did. He articulated the whole thing.
Yeah.
That would make it would basically flip us and then keep us spinning, right? So Arctic would be tropical.
Yep.
The equator would not be anymore. Equator would be like, frozen or colder, I should say. It'd be massive, but it would be explaining all the massive or the increasingly big storms and stuff that come up.
Bro, Antarctic
it was damn near 80. Since you're speaking of this, it was damn near 80 degrees here.
Yeah.
Today.
But he was
80 fucking degrees in January.
Yeah, he was talking about that, and I was like, man, what if that's why they're building bunkers? What if they're building bunkers because they're like, oh, shit's about to happen? Because this guy that sent off, like, he stole all the reports and gave it to his son. His son published the book, which apparently is hard to get a hold of. But he was worried about it back in, like, the fucking 50s, 40s or something, like, way long ago when he did this stuff.
Yeah.
And he's been hushed about it. Like, can't talk about it.
Yeah.
Well, he's dead, but
it's native.
It's just crazy. I'm sorry.
Nah, like what Native's saying, seriously. Antarctica, we'd probably see all the pyramids, the snow would melt. We'd probably see things that we just...
Dude, he talked about the Sphinx in Egypt, and he goes, if you look at the bottom half of it, he goes, they took, I don't remember the guy that was doing the talk, but he was sitting there and showing to a whole bunch of like scholars. And he's like, is that water or wind erosion? And they're like, oh, it's water.
Yes.
He's like, water erosion. So the whole thing's been under freaking water. That it's not, because it's been reconstructed. It's been carved down from another.
I've seen it.
But he was explaining, I was like, well, shit, if Egypt's been underwater before.
Seriously.
For a long period of time after those were built, like, then it's been, you know, shifted like crazy.
Noah.
It's
Days of Noah.
It's not an extinct level. But no, he mentioned Noah in there. He's like, and Noah saw the world turn on its side and knew that, it was coming.
I'm gonna crop this. I want to show you all this before.
I had a sideline there because that's what my mind's on right now. I'm like, yeah, we got some civil war going on here, but man, in 20 years, if that really is real, and it's gonna happen, because the way he explained it, man, it wasn't like on. I'm not knocking anybody, but it wasn't like on a conspiratorial show or anything like that. It was on Tim Pool, which just interviews people.
Bro, I think every so often everything changes. The end of the system, and like you said, pole shifts, floods, cataclysms. Yeah, and I think we're at that point right now where it's time for.
Listen, volunteer militias from at least 27 states have begun traveling to Texas in support of its National Guard amid the constitutional crisis. I don't think I showed this earlier, and I just wanted to show it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I don't think they're going with
militias from 27 states.
I think
that's no joke, man.
Right now, this is what's happening today, bro.
That's a lot of people for them to sit there and knock down. Just saying, that would definitely kick it off. You'd have to let it happen now, or it's conflict. You'd have to.
Yes.
If they make it down there.
Bro, I bet if the eyes in the sky see a whole lot of movement, if they can track a whole lot of movement, it probably would be time for a LD. It probably would.
But let me ask you this, man. I don't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, go ahead.
But I don't want to miss it. The government's not just sitting back right now with all. If we're hearing this, the government knows it too. So don't you think that the government right now is reaching out to National Guards or higher ups or heads of police departments and sheriffs and saying, hey, look, let us know the kind of traffic that's coming through your area. If you see something, a convoy of cars that looks like militia, don't you think that, right now there's operations going on that we're not being told about that the government is definitely working on.
Absolutely. But then you know what they're probably getting? Oh, no, sir. There's nothing going on here. Everything's quiet. We haven't seen anything.
Well, we know there's sellouts, and we know that there's people that are scared to death of Jan day after the 5th. You know what I'm saying? Like, they've already put the fear into citizens. Not everybody's got heart. You know what I mean?
Oh, no,
There's plenty of people out here that will bend over and turn. Prisons are full of rats.
Yeah.
Full of them.
Yeah. But it's them trying to get actionable intelligence. If you're not gonna get it from a police department who is so tired of watching this border thing go on for years. You're not gonna get it from them. They're like, no, sir.
You don't think
half of the department is headed down to Texas. They ain't gonna get it. No, nothing's happening here. It's quiet, and half the department's headed down to the border to handle business.
But you don't think they got satellites and hundreds of people right now working around the clock watching roads and different passageways going into Texas and which states have said that they're standing with Texas and what states militias are going to Texas and where these 700,000 trucks are right now? The government's watching. The government's on it all. They're not just, they said that shit and like us and we're going to go eat dinner and go to sleep. Like they have CIA, DEA, FBI,
print and press.
You know what I'm saying?
Print and press. I got 10,000. You tell me what's going on. I got 20. Tell me what's going on. Print and press. It speaks volumes for what they're capable of. It's not going to be loyalty, but you can buy it. You feel me?
But this is what's going on in our country right now. They ain't saying it to us, but this is what the fuck is happening right now. This ain't no fucking joke, man.
Yeah.
It's some serious shit.
Press 1. Look at Kelly. She is on it. I'm gonna throw my one in there.
Throw my one in there too. Shit.
Look, man, hey, I laugh. And it's only because I can't believe what is going on right now. That's why I'm laughing. Don't be like Josh is always laughing. I can't believe this. I'm telling you, tomorrow I'm going to my academy and I'm gonna purchase Bobby G3. I know. It's you know what I'm saying? It's a backup to a backup to a backup with the 88.
I'm not trying to sideline you. I'm posting the last link I put in there was just a clip. This is the full video. Okay, that's it.
You can also you can I mean I don't know if are you a mod, Pot B?
Yeah, I just put
Okay, cool. I can't ever see that shit when I'm like, I don't know who I know all y'all was mods forever since the beginning, but I don't fucking know.
Yeah. I'll just say this that video's right up our alley. Watch it and tell me you're not going to come back and do a video. I'm serious.
Shit, I'm gonna have to check it out.
I've watched all the little bits and pieces. I haven't been able to watch the full thing all the way through because I'm always in a fucking truck driving around.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting.
Hey, Elbrin, you gotta email me, bro. You gotta email me. Hey, Poppy, seriously, bro, I don't be in a whole lot of chats and stuff like that. Seriously, but there was a chat a while back, like a week ago, and I popped in because you were up there, and I was like, hey, is there any way you could get Poppy to do a video on Amazon night vision? Do you have any experience with the cheap stuff? Because, bro,
I've got a night scope over here. I would never use it. It's like a $60 or $70, $80.
Okay, yeah, no, exactly. But
if you're gonna go night vision, I mean something's better than nothing, no matter what. Something's better than nothing. However, you've got a whole bunch of different little factors that go into it. So you got the white phosphorus, green phosphorus. You got different kinds of thermal.
Man, I'm write this down.
White phosphorus, I think, is clear. You got to look at. There's a whole bunch of. I'd have to pull it up to look at it because I don't have this off the top of my head. But there's little Teddy. There's little. What is it?
That's right, Ghost.
I can't get it off the top of my head. There's attributes to different night vision that make it clearer, that keep you from having like that real distortion of like your perception of depth.
Okay.
Obviously, I like
y'all got phone numbers if y'all want to do shopping and shit like that, man. I mean,
no, bro, look, no, all right.
Meanwhile, we're doing this because in Texas, it is a little bit nighttime.
Bro, so I'm not trying to aim down my sights and be effective. I just need to be able to look from my roof down the street and see, okay, what's coming my way. That's it. That's
okay.
That's it.
You can go get, and you know what? People can hate on me for this.
Okay.
But go get a credit card and spend $3,000.
Man, no, bro.
Listen. Go get a credit card, spend $3,000, and buy yourself a pair of PVS 14s that are white phosphorus.
The PVS boys.
PVS 14s. They're
white. What is that?
That's night vision goggles.
Hey,
for $3,000.
Tribe.
Well, it's 3,300.
Tribe. Let me clarify for you, Tribe.
I just sold a set.
Golly, Tribe. Let me clarify for you. When you see the when you see the PVS boys coming down the street, just go. Just leave.
Yeah.
No. And that's the cheap set. I mean, 10, 20, 30,000 PVS boys. Get the hell up out of there. You don't have a chance.
No, I'm not loaning nobody $3K. That's why you get a credit card. Pay that shit off. Man, how do you think I got them in the first place? You do it and you just pay that shit off.
PVS boys. We ain't worried about the Crips. We ain't worried about the Bloods. When the PVS boys come through, it's time to leave.
Hey, Dyer, yeah, thermals over night vision, that'd be awesome. I don't have 6,000 or 7,000, and I'd like to have the panoramic freaking night vision goggles too, but I don't have 40,000.
We ain't ready. We ain't ready. John, we ain't ready, bro. When you see them boys coming, just leave and pray. PVS boys. Yeah.
I'm just gonna keep an eye on all this shit, man, and hope I don't react too late, and hope I don't wait too long before I get the fuck up out of here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I'm not in a good state, man. I'm in Maryland, man. I do not want to be. I'm so close to the fucking government, man. I do not want to be here if shit really starts to fucking fade.
Yeah.
Hey, and I wouldn't. Don't set it up so much to be like, if I don't have night vision, I'm not going to make it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Adjust what you're doing.
Yeah.
So you're not going to do any kind of night operations. There you go. You know, you're not going to go out there with the white light. You're not going to be smoking outside because that thing is just like a glowing.
Yeah.
You know.
Yes.
Indicator that you're there. So
man,
there's things you just change if you had to, and then when you pick them up, because I'm sure you'll find a pair eventually. You know, they're not just laying on the ground.
Yeah.
There's gonna be stuff everywhere. I mean, if it broke down really bad, you'll find a pair.
All right. Yeah. PVS boys.
Native, man, he be on it. He be on it.
Enter.
Dude, then really get to them. Yeah. Throw them freaking floodlights on them and then cut that shit off, and their night vision is just all jacked up.
Wait, I don't know anything about this.
But you've also now, Native, you know they've got some of those.
I hear you, Kwahu.
They stop the freaking that flood, so it doesn't just flash your eyes. You know, you've got some good night vision out there, but people don't have that. Normal people don't have that.
Yeah, tribe, and that's why I was asking. Like, just a good $300 pair on Amazon, something that's like kind of, I know something's better than nothing. Even if the $60 pair, seriously, just to be able to see, man, I can go and look in my backyard and see everything with the $60 pair I got. I don't know. I'm just trying.
And also, I'm not trying to tell people to go in debt. I'm just saying if it's really something that you're worried about and you have a feasible way to pay off a $3,000 credit card, you know, anymore now, that's not a crazy. I mean, I'd like to have it, but it's not a crazy amount of money. You know what I mean?
Hey, if things popped off,
and if I'd have known Ghost was gonna go so deep in the chat, man, if I'd have known he was gonna be up, I would have sent him the link and had him up here talking all this. It's good information, man. It's good things to think about, man. I mean, Ghost's been knocking it out the park tonight, man. He's thinking about everything.
I know.
That's what I.
Minister Jesus.
You know, I think that's what a lot of people are you know, wondering, man.
Great,
you know
man.
what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to disregard what y'all are talking about, but I'm really not worried about night vision goggles right this minute. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
I got you.
But I would damn sure love to have a pair. I mean,
yeah,
hell yeah, a couple of them. I'd like to have them just to play around with. You know what I'm saying? But
$60 pair. Yeah.
But man, this fucking shit's just unbelievable to me, man. I'm mind blown. You know, we sit around and we talked about this shit for how long? I mean, we're preppers, for Christ's sakes. We thought about all the things that could happen, and we've war gamed this shit how many times on Pop B's channel? I mean, how many times have we ran through scenarios and then all of a sudden, bam, we actually have something going on that is fucking mind blowing, man, and that could get so much worse.
Yeah, it is. We're in the mix, and look, bro, I can even tap in and say the good book. I know now it's probably not the good time to insert the good book, but this is what the good book talks about, bro. Total chaos, the collapse of the economic system, a tearing down. It's not the end of the world. It's the end of a system. That's what the transitional period. And this is what it looks like. I didn't know it was going to look this crazy. This is what it's looking like. The strongest country on the planet in internal civil war strife while dealing with World War III abroad and everything.
You know what's crazy to me is, but before this popped off like this, we were on a live stream and I was like, New York suing Texas, man. And if the Supreme Court gets involved, we could be looking at civil war because the Supreme Court siding with this or siding with that. And it ain't exactly how we were talking about it, but damn, it's like 2 days later. Mm-hmm. What the fuck, man? It's like you almost can see things that's going to happen. Like, trust your gut, man, because sometimes you can really see things coming. And you don't quite know how you're seeing them. Yeah. But as far as I'm concerned, with all the shit that's going on right now, man, I'm seeing it as being very serious, and it's going to elevate. It's not gonna die down, man. It's just going to build up, and I think some shit's going to really pop off. I think we're going to have some serious shit go down in this country. I think 2024 is going to be it. After 2024, man, America's not going to be the same. Again, we actually might be fractured. We might be a split up. It's not going to be the United States. In time, we probably won't even be called the United States anymore, man. It's done gotten too deep. There's too much hate. There's too much divide, man. They done fucked up. The powers that be done fucked up.
Yeah.
And I think they're underestimating the American people. They're underestimating people that are free and free-minded and want to be free. I think that they think they're all powerful and that there's nothing that can stop them. And I'm sorry to say that there's heart and soul in the people of America, man.
Yeah,
and we'll give our lives to keep this. We'll give our lives to stay free, man. We're not going to be y'all's fucking slave, man. Fuck that.
Yeah, bro. I get on these lives and these videos and I'm animated and I guess I may throw off a sense of like fear or like, just, bro, I'm not worried about any of this because I already know what's coming. In my videos, I talk about being spiritually prepared and mentally, physically, and spiritually because I know there's a high probability when this thing goes, bro, I may not make it through. I'm prepared for that, if it happens. So I can enjoy the ride. That's probably why I laugh. This is what I was told was going to happen from the good book. It's happening. I can't believe it. I'm glad I got y'all to ride this thing out with, but we're in the mix. Yeah.
The only thing that sucks about that ghost is we got way more technology now.
Yes.
If it was like, if we were as advanced as they were back then, I'd be riding the wave right now. I mean, also probably getting murdered and stuck on a pike or something, but I wouldn't have to worry about social media. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. I don't know, man. I don't know.
We're gonna see tomorrow.
We're about at that 2 hour mark, and we got to go live on Sunday. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to be on here too long, man. But I just figured it was important to tap in, man. And I know other people are tapping in. I think the more voices and the more you get the word out, the more people can start waking up. Like, hey, there's some serious shit going on in this country, man. You might want to start thinking about your future.
Yeah. Like
your next 3 days, your next 2 weeks, your next month, because things might change and never be the same again.
That's right.
And it ain't no joke, man. It's not like we're saying this and like there's really this is fucking insane.
It's real. This ain't a dream. It's real. It's happening. When we wake up in the morning, there's gonna be more news of escalations and how this thing is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I hope y'all are prepping up, man. I hope y'all are getting y'all, if you can. I mean, I hope y'all have been prepping up. I hope y'all are getting some food together, man. Get you some food together. Get you some extra water. Make sure you got plans with your family and your friends that if you can't get a hold of them, man, you got a plan. Hey, look, we'll meet here. Don't leave. Stay there until I get there. It might take me a week, but I'll get there. Have plans. Know that your kids are hearing this shit too, because my kids are hitting me up and they're worried. And I wasn't even picking up on it. Like they would be that worried. And when they start hitting me up, you know, that shit hits home, man. It's like, fuck. So talk to your kids, man. They're hearing this shit. All this shit that's going on, all these wars and everything. These kids, they're hearing it. They might be playing in another room and you might just be talking on the phone with somebody about some shit. They're hearing it. So make sure y'all are staying on top of these things, man, and talking to your kids and talking to these young ones, man, and keep their mind right. You know what I mean? Make sure they know that you got their back and that, you know, we gonna get through this shit, but make plans, get prepped up. You know what I'm saying?
Please.
I don't know what else to say.
Yeah. Be ready for anything and everything.
Yes. Yes. And be careful what you say. Be careful what you do. Because look how they attacked January. There was hundreds of people sitting in jail. And they didn't even do anything, man. This government is trying to lock up their political enemy, their political rival. You don't think they'll come after Americans? They'll come after us. They'll come after anybody. They don't want you to have free speech. They don't want you to be able to protect yourself. They don't care about your rights. They don't care about the Constitution. I mean, look, they don't. So watch your back when you're talking and doing things. Be careful out there. To all y'all that are making the move to Texas, man, I pray for y'all and I hope y'all, you know, I wish y'all the safest trip and the safest days ahead, man. I hope y'all are okay. In Texas, I stand with y'all too, but I can't make it there. I can't come to Texas. Not right now. Not today. But just all y'all be careful out there. Be careful what you say. Be careful what you do, man, because right now we are in the midst of Americans against the Feds Civil War too, man. No bullshit.
Maybe take your kits out and put them on. Weigh yourself and see how much your kit weighs. And maybe go walking around the neighborhood with not your kit on. You know, just weight. You know, a backpack with some weight on it, and get your body used to it. Because if you got to move and you haven't moved around with 45 pounds of gear, 60, 70, 80 pounds of gear, which I'm not saying that's what you have, but put it on and walk around with it. And then, like everybody was saying, you're saying Native was like have comms, and everybody's talking about having stuff ready and everything. Pace plan everything you got. And all that is a primary, alternate, contingency, and emergency. So you've got your way to do everything, your alternate way to do everything, your oh crap, both those failed, we still have another way to communicate or do whatever plan or path or whatever, and your emergency, all shit's hit the fan, and this is the last, you know, effort we have kind of thing. So have a pace plan for everything you do.
And I wanted to throw this out there. I'm gonna go ahead and throw it out there, Native. But me and Native been talking. I've talked to Josh a little bit about it. Me and Native and just Josh, man, we've been diving into these bail things, and what we wanted to do was come up with certain frequencies on the bail thing in case everything goes down that we could share with the community, with everybody that hangs with us. We want to come up with a couple frequencies. So, because if all communications go down and you don't even, I mean, there's hundreds of numbers on this damn thing. Like if we don't figure out how to use these things in a way if shift happens and have some way of at least going to a channel that we all know, okay, on Tuesdays, we go to this one and keep checking in once an hour, you know, and we want to come up with a plan, but we just started talking about this like a few days back. So we're going to keep working on it. Hopefully we'll have time, but when we get it all together, we're going to share it with our community, with y'all, you know, people in the chat, people that watch this, and then everybody can have, you know, certain frequencies so we can all have some kind of, even if it's just hope of being able to get in touch with somebody, at least we'll have that. Hope is a motherfucker. It's a nice thing to have. And it's a nice thing to have to be able to actually get in contact with somebody. So we'll keep working on it. We'll work with Pop B. We'll reach out to some others. We're going to try to figure this thing out, man. I'm kind of stupid, so it's kind of hard for me. I've done plugged it in, tried to do some programming. I'm trying to learn it. I'm watching tons of videos. I'm reading a bunch of shit. So, you know, we're going to figure it out, but we will definitely get y'all hooked in too, you know, if y'all want to. If y'all got a bail thing is not that expensive. You can get the whole kit for like $50. with the plug-in for the internet and everything. So anyway, I just want to throw that out there so y'all know we're trying to work on something. So at least we'd have communication if shit went down, hopefully.
Yes.
But if something pops up and something gets real bad within 24 hours and we can still get on YouTube, I guarantee you we'll jump back on here and we'll try to get the info out there. But definitely we'll be back Sunday, 8 o'clock Eastern time. Pop B, appreciate you jumping on here, man. Your insight means the world, man. Just Josh, you know how we do. Everybody in the chat, man, much love to y'all. Appreciate y'all being here, man. Y'all, anything y'all want to throw out there before we end it?
Man, y'all be safe.
Remember, the first thing to fail in every good plan is comms.
Oh shit!
Pop B.
It's a joke, but it's kind of real. You got to check that stuff all the time. No, it's a great thing to have. I'm not going against what you said. I'm obviously joking around, but don't just have it and put it away in a closet. Pull it out and use that shit every once in a while. PM it. Learn how to PM it. An eraser is really good for some of those contact points. You know what I mean? It cleans it real nice, keeps it clean. So there's a lot of ways to keep things manageable. And if you don't keep track of your comms, they will fail.
I just think about it like this. I think about it like this. Like, let's say I'm trying to get to Pop B, but you know, it takes me a week because I got to go all these crazy routes, and all of a sudden I'm in Nebraska, and I know somebody in Nebraska, and you know who you are, but I know that they can, you know, at least feed me for a night, give me a night's rest. I've been on the street for a week, and you know, if they know the signal and I know the signal and I know I'm close, but I don't exactly know where they're at, I can hit that motherfucker up and check once an hour and then boom, get a hold of them. You know what I'm saying? Well, and it goes for whatever, man. I just think it's a smart move to at least you got to at least try to do something. If you don't do nothing at all, you're just in a worse spot. At least you're trying to do something and get better at everything. So, you know, it is what it is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Till Sunday. Oh, you got something to say, Josh?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Till Sunday, man. Keep y'all's head on the swivel. Keep your eyes on anything. Y'all can hit me up in the email if y'all hear anything. Y'all want to tell me anything. preppertribe@gmail.com. You know, hit me up if y'all anything. But appreciate y'all being here. See y'all Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll holla at y'all.
Tap in.
Salute.
Elbrin, email me. All right.